We're live. I love ya. Welcome to the Ask Yeah Feedy show. I know it's every first Sunday, but this is a special event. It is actually my mother's 102nd birthday, and I thought it was so appropriate for her to get a chance to share her wisdom with all of the people who over the years have been supporting Miss Ruby, because I put stuff on there with her dancing, with her and I when we went to the movies and all of that. So I'm so grateful for y'all who came in to be on the show. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to wait for some people to come in before we start. So just chill, relax, and know that you are in the presence of our great living hero. We have to give our heroes their flowers while they are alive. That's to me very important. And my mother has been an exceptionally wonderful person. So I think that, and wise, strong lady. So that's why I wanted to share this with you today. So I'll just give everyone a little minute to come in and just join us on the Ask Yaya Feeding show with Miss Ruby.
Call Kim.
She's on.
She's on? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I send it to the whole family. There it is. It's in this one. It's in the Food Balance Living. And I'm going to share it with my other platform, my feed. And there it goes. Okay. Okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we are live and in person. Yep.
It's already your tune, right?
Mm-hmm. We're just waiting for a couple more minutes. It's just for 1 minute after 4. I usually wait for about 5 minutes so that we'll be able to get the full audience. Get the full audience. Yeah, people are coming in. I see them coming in. Ooh. If somebody said yes, get the full audience. Yes, I'm so happy. So now y'all know where I get my little vivaciousness from. It's from this lady right here. So we are very, very, very welcome, and I am going to get started. So welcome everyone to the Ask Yaya Feeny show, and this segment is the celebration of my mother's 102nd birthday. And thank you each and every one of you that have been telling me to send her love and sending her all types of blessings. And some of you are some of her favorite people that she says, oh, my daughter, that when we call, they are ready and all plugged into her, to my mom. So thank you so much for all of her friends, all of her followers, people that she's prayed for, that she still continues to pray for. And that today is such an honor and a pleasure and a privilege for me to share her with you. So I'm looking for my little, yes, my mom is my hero, my shiro. And I say that because this is the person that has always given me, by example, how to be strong, by example, how not to give up, by example, to always share. Those are the things that I learned from my mom. How to share. I remember how if we had one meal and someone came by, she would take off a piece, put it on another plate, give it to them. Always sharing it. Always sharing. And that's what I learned most from my mother. So Miss Ruby Mercedes Aiken, Ruddock, Allen, Roach, Allen. Yes, all of those titles befit the Queen Mother. She's laughing with all of her titles. Yes. So today, Mom, thank you so much for agreeing to be here, just sharing with and it's people that know you and love you. We have Virginia is on, and Titito is on, and the people from Panama are on, even the people from Chile are on. But you don't have to worry about who's on. You and I are just talking here, okay? So thank you so much, Mom. My mom comes from very humble and strong Jamaican background. She was born in Panama. My mother was born in Panama in 1920. And as a child in Panama, those are the things that I want to share so that we know that as African descended people, one of the challenges that we have always faced is during the enslavement period, we got so disconnected from our ancestors, from our culture. And wherever it is that we went after the enslavement period was over, we had to just do the best that we could to just grab at life and to just get out of it. And the one thing that always kept us going is the knowledge and the power of the connection that we have to spirit and to our Africanness, that we could always figure out how to do better, how to live in community. That's the power. So some of the things that we experience as African descended people is because we didn't have our families with us. We had a complete disconnect with the thing that would give us celebration at our birthdays and connection to aunties and uncles and extended families, because in Africa we traditionally would have large families. It was important to have children because that was who were helping you to leave a legacy, would help you to farm, to help you to give birth, to be nurses, to be herbalists. So the entire family had a cadre of people who would take care of us in each compound, in each community. And so during the enslavement period, that was completely cut off. So my mother, on my mother's side, her mother and father are Jamaicans. They were born in Jamaica and came to Panama to have an easier way. This is in 1920. This was a lot of people came from the Caribbean to help build the Panama Canal. And so in doing so, that's how my grandparents came from Jamaica on my mother's side. On my father's side, is the same history. They came from Barbados to build, to help, to assist as laborers in the building of the Panama Canal. And in there, they carved out a life. They gave birth. They fell in love. They got married. Some didn't. They lived through the subjugation of when the Panama Canal was finished and the Americans were running the canal. Even if you were born Panamanian, you did not have the rights as people who worked for the American government. So there was another added segregation. And that's the thing that my mother came up through, is knowing that we did not live on the canal zone because we didn't work for the American government. We were born and raised in Panama. And so in the Republic of Panama in Central America. And now that we are here together, I just wanted you all to know how from, as Maya Angelou says, and still we rise, how we rise and continue to rise and give birth to me and I to my children. And my mother had 3 children. And from those children, she has a long legacy that she is leaving here. But I wanted to bring her on here at 102 to speak with us and share all of her lovely, lovely things that she decides that she wants to, and if she doesn't. So that's what I want to know. So thank you again, Ma. Thank you so much for, of course, giving birth to me, because I would not be here, but just being so open to be here with us. So thank you, Mom. One of the things that I wanted to ask you, Ma, is what was your best childhood memory? What is the thing that just brings you back? Are we talking about a child that was born in 1920? What is your best childhood memory that sticks in your mind?
Oh, when I was old enough, the lady that raised me, Miss Burke, She was a Christian.
You want a pillow behind you?
Yes.
Get
Miss
another
Burke
pillow.
was a Christian, and we had to go to church, go to Sunday school, take part in reciting, and just had to take part in church.
Mm.
Came up in the Wesleyan Church
In Panama, you told me
in
about.
Panama.
Share with us the time when your godfather was in the audience.
Oh, we
That was
had
so
to
cute.
recite. And when I said my piece, my godfather, Mr. Taylor, he said, "That's my godchild." When I said my piece, when people clap, my godfather said, "That's my godchild. That's my godchild."
So you remember that you had value. There's this man that is your godfather, because in the Caribbean, trying to make a life, you had godparents, and the godparents were really important in your life. These are the people that, if anything, there was a kind of like a silent oath, knowing that if anything ever happens to you, the godparent becomes the parent. And so for him, that was important to remind him and to tell everyone that this was his godchild. So that was one of your good memories. Give us some of the memories. One of the things that you did as a child. What did you eat as a child? Because to be 102, you must have been eating something good. So what kind of things did you like?
Well, my mother, Miss Burke, she cooked every day. We had soup, we had rice, we had steak, we had chicken, and my father liked conch, isn't that growing the shell? And she would go to the market and buy about 6, and she had to, I guess she used to throw hot water in them, and she pull them out, and she had to cut it up and season it up very good. So that's one thing she had to cook for my father, which is her husband, Mr. Burke. They that raised me. I was raised by Mr. and Mrs. Burke. And she was a very good cook. She had to cook fresh food every day. But Mr. Burke did not eat nothing that was left over. So every day she cooked fresh food.
And that's the way that you raised us. I don't think we ever went to restaurants when we were growing up.
Oh no!
And we would always want to go to restaurants because we thought that was upscale. And you said, no, we don't know how those people are cooking that food.
I tell my mother and I was walking one day, and I said, people in restaurant eating. And I said, Mom, don't you think we should go in the restaurant and eat some food one day? She said, child, you want to eat the food those people stir up? You mean you have that kind of stomach to eat food from the people? You don't know how they cook it? I said, well, look how they eat it nice. And she said, well, I am not going to no cook shop. She didn't call it restaurant. She said cook shop.
Oh. And so did she cook a lot of vegetables and that? Because I'm just trying to see, how is it that you're so healthy? Because I know in raising us, that's the one thing that our house, vegetables every day.
Oh, yes. She cooked callaloo, okra, cabbage, red cabbage, white cabbage, and meat. Throw it up, and I did that for my children too.
Mm-hmm.
And she cooked zucchini, and she cooked all kind of vegetables,
Mm-hmm.
Cooked vegetables all the time, cabbage, red cabbage, white cabbage. And she make okra soup. Make okra soup with salt meat in it, dumpling and yuca and
You're making me hungry.
yam. Oh, she was a good cook.
Yeah, well, you learn well from her because that's how you raised
Split
us.
pea soup, red pea soup.
Wow, that's beautiful. And so as a child, in 1920 and well after that, as a child, what kind of things did you do as a child? Did you climb mango trees? Did you bathe in the rain? All of the things that I know that I experienced, I wanted to share with that. Give us a kind of life with nature.
I climbed the mango tree. She didn't want to say, "You're not a tomboy." But when she's not looking, I climbed the mango tree. I climbed a cashew tree. I said, "Nice cashew." And I climbed, and as I hold cashew, a bee sting me. And I fell out the tree.
Ooh.
And it was a muddy day, and all my clothes was muddy up. And I get some good beating on my legs. But my dress was nice, And because girls didn't wear pants, wear dresses.
Well, that's where I get the mango tree climbing from. It's from you.
And I walking on a seat, and I wouldn't get that cashew.
Ooh, that's the same thing I used to do, was talk to my fruits. I says, I'm coming back to get you.
And I climbed the tree, and as I put my hand, the bee sting me, and I fell out the tree. And mud upon my clothes. She says, "Why you climb the tree?" I said, "I see the cashew up there." She said, "You see? And you always break your neck."
Well, I was the same kind of child that was always in somebody's tree, so I got it legitimately from you. Thank you, Ma, for sharing that. One of the things that I wanted to ask you is, because I know everybody's always wondering, what is your beauty secret? Why is your skin and how is your skin? I know you eat and you still eat a lot of vegetables. You have a salad every day, or you complain about, I didn't get a salad today. What is your beauty secret? What is it that makes your skin so glowing and tight?
I have to say the Lord blessed me with this skin. Or bless us, because my sister had a very nice skin too. But I use at that time that was popular, and that's all I would use on my face and skin.
Was it oil of Olay or Pond's?
I think oil was there was one.
Oil of Olay, that was your favorite, I remember.
Oil of Olay, yes.
But now what are you using now? Because you don't have any wrinkles.
You don't see them.
Yes, thank you so much. So it's just lotion.
Oil of Olay,
but every day, let me tell you my mom's secret. When she comes out of her shower, she has to, that she believes in moisturizing.
Vaseline.
That's what she's using now, is Vaseline from head to toe. Moisturizing is important, and that's what I learned from her. And I remember I was speaking to one of my friends today, and she was saying, yes, I remember when I asked your mom a long time ago, she told me, yes, you have to moisturize your skin. That's why her skin is like that. As soon as she comes out of her shower, moisturize. And she still bathes herself and everything. She has someone to just give a little assistance, but she's still doing that. She's not cooking anymore, but she's definitely supervising the cooking, if it's only visually. Thank you, Mom, for that, because people always ask me, what is that? So one of the things I wanted to ask you is, what was the most courageous thing that you've had to do in your life?
I had to gather my 3 children. I married a man. When I look around and see he wasn't acting the way I think I want him to act, and to see my children grow up.
Oh, so your husband and you were not doing well. That's what you're saying?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I got together, pick up my 3 children, and leave him. Didn't think what I would do, or we're going, whatever. I knew this lady, Sister Bruce. I went to her and I said, Sister Bruce, she know me from I was a girl going to lodge meeting with her. And I went to her and said, Sister Bruce, so and so happened. Just bring the children. I went, I took Claudette to my goddaughter mother.
Which is your first daughter. You took her to her godmother. Mm-hmm.
And then I went to Sister Bruce and I was telling her about my situation to separate them. So I took the two smaller ones, my son and my little daughter, which is you, to this lady. And then I went and got a job. And then got a living job. And I come out,
And what is a living job? Because some of these people don't know what a living job is.
you work there and you stay in the job,
Like a helper.
you know. And then I would come out on weekends, pick you all up. And I had a friend that had a big house with a big farm. He used to take you all over there and spend the sun and bring you back, take you back to this lady. And then went on my job.
Wow. That's beautiful. That's saying that the courage that you had to decide in a moment, I cannot continue in a bad situation. Just get my children, not knowing where I'm going to do it. All I know is we can't do this anymore. I mean, that is applause, because a lot of women today sometimes find themselves in the same kind of situation where they're in a bad relationship and they don't know how to leave. They don't know why they're staying, but you found the courage, to go and to do what you needed to do with 3 children.
And I didn't have a mother and a father to say, well, bring them here.
Mm-hmm.
But God blessed me with good children that I could leave one there and the other 2 left. The eldest one with a very good friend of mine that I was her daughter godmother. And the other 2, I took them to this lady, Miss Bruce, that know me when I was a child.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So they were separated like that. But on Sunday, I used to go and gather them together. And I had a friend that she used to say, come over to where we live. And we go over to like a country place and spend the day with her. And then come back and drop off one day and drop off 2 there. And then I go on my living job.
Yeah, I remember when we were growing up and you had to work, and you weren't working with a living job anymore, but you were working in Panama. And on the weekends when you were off, I remember as if it was yesterday, every Saturday you would take us to the beach. It seemed to me like it was every Saturday. It may not have been, but in my mind, it was we would go to the beach. You would get hot dogs. I remember that so clearly because we didn't eat hot dogs like that because that was an American thing. But then the Panamanians started having the hot dogs that were stuck together. We would have hot dog. We would have mustard. We would have Kool-Aid. We'd have juice. That's the thing that I remember, is that you were such a committed parent that in spite of you raising these 3 children, you always found the time to share with us, to make us feel happy, to make us feel loved and appreciated, making our own clothes. You started sewing, you made our clothes. You have been a phenomenal mother. So inspiring the women and men that are raising their children without the second parent. You got to find that courage to go through it and know that God, as you said, is going to find some good people to put you in your life. And you would have to be a good person for them to say yes. So, yes, to be the type of person that someone would say, yes, I'll take care of your children, you must have been a good woman.
God was with me too, because I didn't have father nor mother. And I says, no, I cannot stay with no man that going to treat me. I said, no, I'm not staying.
Yes.
And God was so good that I could get as I said, comadre. I was godmother to her daughter, Claudette. And then I had the other 2. This lady we call Granny, had those 2. And I went and work. I said, no, I'm not staying with no man that will. Every time he look at me, he give me a slap.
Yeah, so that's for those of us who needed to hear that. Someone on there says, I needed to hear this today. Thank you. That was Tree of Life. Oracle just said that. Thank you so much. He goes said, strong woman, powerful. Someone saying, knowing your own worth. Amen. And then Oshunrire, Naomi, your daughter, is saying, this is one of the people that is her daughter. She's saying, I'm trying to read this, and it just went up because somebody else is speaking. Naomi said, that's my beautiful mother, Ruby. Whenever we take Whenever we talk, she never leaves without giving a beautiful prayer. Her prayers remind me of my mother's prayer. Love her so much. You see, my mother can read from here. I'm up in the glasses and she's reading the stuff. So you can read and see what the people are saying. I'm all up in here with my glasses. Her eyes are that good. She does not have any illnesses.
A blessing from the Lord, my dear. Blessing from the Lord.
Yesterday, she was. I had to. We were laughing together because I'm here, just hanging out with her for her birthday, and she was saying, "Oh, I'm old," and I said, "Ma, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. The only thing she has is a little arthritis. Can you imagine at 102, she got a little arthritis in her arm. That's it. She don't have no diabetes, no hypertension. She don't take any pills for that. She talks, and you see she can read that and have the conversation going. I remember she called me and asked me, was I listening to the debates during the election? Yes, you should get involved. So thank you, Ma, for encouraging me to do that. One of the things that I want to ask you, so Ma, what was the most powerful lesson you've learned that you can share with me and with Claudette, the city here, and with my friends?
Well, in my growing up, I was raised with a woman that she helped anybody that she could help. Anybody she could share, she would always says, Ruby, that man not working, and the woman have those children here. And she used to go to the commissary and she'd buy a little this, a little that, a little that, and put it in a bag. I said, Mommy, you're giving away all. She said, shut up. It's like, take this little package over to that man. He's not working. And the lady with all those children, take this little package over there. And she's always selling packages because my father worked in the canal zone, and he had privilege to shop. So my mother used to take me to the commissary and would buy different little things. And when she go, she make a package up and send me to people that their husband wasn't working and all that. And sometimes I said,
wow,
giving away all the things. She said, shut up, do what I said. Take this over to that poor woman with all those cheering up man looking for special work. He was a carpenter. And if he didn't get a chair to make, he don't work. He said, I came from Barbados as a carpenter, and I'm not doing no other work but carpentry. And those days, people used to make furniture when they're going to get married.
Oh, okay.
You says, when I'm going to get married, I'd like you to make my set of furniture. And he would make chairs and bed and so on. Mm. And if he didn't get a order to make it, he don't work. He said, I'm not going to work for no white man.
He said he's not going to work for any white man, so your mother would just send you over there to send stuff for her.
He said, I come from Barbados, and I can make furnitures, and I'm not going to work for no white man if I don't. And those days, people used to say, I'm going to get married, will you make my furniture? Mm-hmm. And then you buy the mahogany. Got a place to go and get mahogany, and you make the bed, the table, the chair, everything.
Nothing was made in China back then.
No.
Like they are today, and just ship it on IKEA.
And if he didn't get a chair to make, he don't work. And his wife there with the baby every day.
So the care packages that you gave, I think that's one of the things that I always remember, and that's what I shared when we first started. My mother has always been generous. I remember her sending care packages with my sister that she would take, if somebody's struggling or something, she'd take a little food, tie it up, take it to her, take that to that lady over there. And that's one of the things that I've learned in my life is to be generous. I love to give. And that's what I learned from you, Ma, is just to give. And the law of life is that whatever you give, you always are going to have. You're always going to have more. The universe, God is always going to remember your deeds. And that's why you have such a beautiful life.
Well, a lady that raised me, Miss Burke, my mother, her husband worked for the Panama Canal, and they had privilege, commissary privilege. So
that's a privilege to shop on the canal zone because they work there.
And then you could get a lot of things reasonable.
But you didn't live on the canal zone. You live in Panama, but he worked over there. So you had privilege.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So we would go to the commissary, and my mother would buy everything she thinks she could use, codfish, pigtail, this rice. You could get it, and it was better and cheaper than you it.
Mm-hmm.
And when she go home now, she go to a little of this, a little of that, a little of the other. And so when we come, carry this over to that lady without all those cheering, and that man wouldn't work. You waiting if you don't get a chair to me. So he's a carpenter, he's not doing
He can't do nothing else. He's a specialist.
And he was from Barbados, and he said, I don't come from Barbados here to come and do nothing yet. I wait, I don't get it.
He had his pride.
Yes.
So I have a question for you, Mom. I know that I came to the United States when I was 12 years old. What was the inspiration to leave Panama and come here, and how did you do it? That's so important for the women today, because people are trying their best to carve a life out for themselves. How is it that you were able, and what was the encouragement to leave Panama? Why did you decide to leave Panama when I was 12, Tonya was 14, 13, and Tia was 17?
Well, I was working at Panama Hilton, and this man came there.
At the hotel?
Yes.
And what were you doing at the hotel, working there?
I was a supervisor of maids. Start out as a maid, and then I worked so good.
So you worked in housekeeping?
Housekeeping, then they gave me supervisor. So then while I was working there, this man came there, and I was talking to him. He said, you'd like to come to States? I said, yes. He said, all right, I'm going to help you to come to States. And I worked there and keep in touch with him. And then he sent for me to the States.
Huh? So how did he come? Was this a boyfriend?
No. It's a white man that had his business. I forget the name of the business.
Yeah, that's what I want to hear. Exactly.
Yeah, it's a white man that came there, and he had his business. And I served his room and talked to him, and I told him, I would like to come to the States. He says, would you like to come to the States? I said, yes. He said, all right, give me your number, give me your address, and when I get there, I'll send for you. I have a family.
And to come and work with him, with his family.
Yes, I have a family, and we're glad to have you to work with us.
Because he must have been impressed with the way that you worked.
And then, yeah, because we had like 12 rooms to clean.
Whoa. Each person?
Each person, 12 rooms each day. And you had to make bed, change bed, do everything, and And he was a guest in one of my rooms.
Okay.
And I'm talking to him, and he said, you'd like to come? He says, yes. He says, all right, give me your address.
So why did you want to come to the States? If you were working and we were there in school and we were doing fine, why did you decide you wanted to leave Panama?
Because some girls used to come down, girls that dance used to come to Shawnee. I used to talk with them, and they says, how much you making here? And I told, you come to the States, you make more money than that.
So they're asking you how much money you're making, and the standard of living, you make more in the States.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Says you make more money than that. If you come to the States. And this one here, she gave me her number, her address and everything. So you write me, and I'll see if I can get you. But this man that he used to go to the States, and he used to forget what he used to do, but he used to sell things.
Oh, he's a businessman.
Yes.
So he came to Panama often. So he followed through with it.
Yeah, I always get his room and clean it, and then I told him I would like to come. He said, you'd like to come? Okay, I'll have you to come and take care of
So you wanted to leave because you felt that you could make more money?
Yes.
And what other reason? Because this is you're uprooting your children and everything. So what was the driving force behind it?
I felt I could make more money because what they were paying us, And when I hear how much I could make if I come to the States, I say I would really like to come to the States, you know. And then I clean his room and talk.
Yeah.
And
So how did you get us here? If you're by yourself and this man writes you, how did you get your children here to America from Panama?
I came and I worked with him for a year. And what he was paying me was not enough. And I heard that I could make more if I worked with some richer people. And I went and worked with those rich people. I was making more money, like $50 a week. And they were paying me like $25. And I just have $50 a week I can save and send for my children faster. So I was getting that $50 a week, and I went and put it straight in the bank. And I was telling Claudette, that mother, you know, I soon send for the children because I put the money in the bank, and I tell her I think I have $250 or $300. She said, Agnes, she said, Ruby, you have all that money? I says, yes. And this man I was working for, he was a writer. Very nice man.
And his family?
He only had a son and a daughter, and the son had his maid, his nurse that take him out.
Okay.
And the daughter, she was acting in shows, so I didn't have nothing to do. It was a nice job. If I didn't have to send for my children, I'd work with him. And he was a writer. What was his name, Claudette?
Mr. Schwartz.
Schwartz. Very nice. I had nothing to do but just tidy up. You have a nurse for the little boy. You have a lady that come in and clean every day, every week. She come and give it also thorough cleaning. All I have to do is brush up, make up the bed and things like that. I had nothing to do.
Nice. So that, remember when I first started, I said that you give me courage. When I look at the way that you never stop, you always are looking for a better way, an easy way, but a better way that is honest. And that's the thing that I find so resilient about you, is that you're such a hard-working woman. You encourage everyone that's around you to work hard. You're always looking at a better way of doing. You wanted us to come to America to do different, to do better, to do the things that we weren't experiencing in Panama. So your courage, your determination, your boldness, because that was bold to come here by yourself, working, send for 3 children at one time. That's a lot of money. And you worked and worked and worked. And when I remember when we came here and I saw the apartment that we had, I was like, Tonya, we are rich. I was like, oh my goodness, we had a fabulous apartment. My mother laid it out compared to where we were living in Panama. We always lived better than most people because my mother always worked hard for us to have, no matter what the circumstances are, we always were a cut above. And so I remember you were saying the other day, we were the first one that had a washing machine in our neighborhood.
Yes.
And she made sure that those things happened for us. So when we came here, I was like, oh my God, Claudette and I have our own room. Tonya has his own room. There's a living room that's big enough for all of us. What? My mother is an amazing, amazing trooper. So this is a woman who encourages women to trust in God and to move through any situation that you can make it. Just knowing that faith and knowing that she's got God in her back is always going to do it. That's the thing that I get the most courage from you. Just whenever I feel like there's a hard thing, I say, well, wait a minute. If my mother did that, ended up, you got jobs for other people. She always got jobs for other people. You know, sometimes, like, I know that's one thing I see in the Haitian community now. When I lived in Florida, one of them get a job in 6 months, all of the staff are Haitian. That's how we were. If your one Panamanian is there, the whole troop of them, she would get jobs for other people, always getting somewhere, talk to them and say, look, they're taking people on, come down and so and so. She'll talk to the supervisor. I remember, Ma, you have been a phenomenal hero. That's why
Mhm.
today I had to have
Thank
this.
God.
Yes, we had to have this because you are one of those people that to have you still alive and for us to have that advantage to speak to you and with you and you sharing with us. Not that somebody's going to put an epitaph after you're gone. People right here on this platform know you, that you have encouraged them and you have helped them. So that for me, that's my strength, that I get to help people and I feel obligated to always try to help people to uplift because if you're the only example I had as that, so I must have gotten it from you. So thank you, Ma, for that. Thank you so much. I want to ask you something.
We have to do in the world, help each other.
Mhm. And that's as what we said at the beginning is that when we are coming from the enslavement period, we have to start over by ourselves. We have to find a little place to help each other to go and to pull. I want to ask you also, Ma, what is some of the little nuggets or the gems in your life, little things that you know that you always hold dear to you?
My children.
Mm, thank you.
But when I came here, all I was thinking, I had to get my children.
Talk louder.
I had to get my children here. And I worked and put away every nickel I worked for in order to send. And the war was coming in the winter, so I had to get coat, sweater, boots, and all of that. And I remember Claudette grandmother, and she says, I sent in for the children, save some money after going back. He says, Ruby, lend me the money. When you're ready to send it for them, I'll give it back to you. I said, no, that will be bad luck.
That would be bad luck. Yeah, because you had an intention. Your intention was to bring your children. You were not going to let anybody's story take you away from your plan. So you set your intention, you pass through, you walk through it. And that's the thing that I've learned. When you want something, you say you want it, you go after it, and you don't get sidewinded by getting distracted, but you keep going. So that's what you're saying is that somebody wanted to borrow the money from you, say it would be bad luck. I never heard of that one. That was nice. Bad luck to break my intention. We got to learn that one.
Yes, I never. Now, I tell her I'm saving this money to send for the children. Suppose I didn't tell her that.
She would have still been fine.
Yeah, but as she hear me say saving this money to send for she said, Ruby, lend me that money.
Talk loud.
Lend me the money. I said, no, it's bad luck. If I lend it to you, I'll never get to send for that children.
That's why we'd be still there waiting. One of the things I want to ask you too.
Agnes.
Yeah. So what was the? Don't you gotta say her name?
She dead
So
now.
what she said?
Godmother.
She said she's dead, so she didn't call her name. So one of the things I wanted to ask you too about, what was the lowest point of your life, in your life? What has been the lowest point where you felt so alone, but you saw God as stretching its hands out? What's the lowest point that you had?
Well, when Miss Burke left me,
And why did she leave you?
her husband was working for the Panama Canal, and something they told him to do, and he got mad and he said, nah, I have my land in Jamaica, I'm not going to do that. And he'd get off the truck. He used to drive the truck to come here and pick up all the supplies. And he came on and he said, Mary, I just tell him off, I'm going home. I have land in Jamaica. I don't have to stay or take these white men to me what they feel like doing. And he came home and tell her his name. She said, well, what went do with Ruby? What went do with the child? He didn't know what to do.
How old were you?
I must have was about 11. That was about 11, 12.
You were about 11 years old. And so he said, I'm not going to let these white people push me around. So because I have land in Jamaica. I'm a proud man.
I'm a property in Jamaica.
I have my property in Jamaica. So he decided to go to leave.
What went do with Ruby?
So when she left you, that you said that was the lowest point. What happened then?
She left me with two sisters that used to live together.
Two sisters that lived together.
Sinister never was married.
They were spinsters.
So I stay with them. They was our friends, from
Uh-huh.
church, and so I stayed with them. And my father used to come and bring money for me. 'Cause my father that time wasn't settled; he was a player.
A player.
After he met Miss May,
Hmm.
then she said, "Look, I don't want my family in Jamaica here. No man playing around. You're going to marry me and settle." And then he decided to marry her.
Hmm.
So I started.
So the lowest part was when your mother left you at 11 and you had to, this is your adopted mother.
Yes.
She left you and then you went to live with these two ladies.
Hmm.
And how long did you stay with them?
I stayed with them till I was about 13 or 14.
Mhm.
And how I leave them, I was on the balcony one day looking out and I saw my sister moving in the house next door. I said, wait, that's my sister.
And your only other sister that when your mother died, she was
Yes.
the older sister and you were the baby.
I run downstairs and said to her, "You living here?" She said, "Yes, I live over there with the two ladies." And she came over and saw me say that and talked there. So when she moved, she got a place in Caledonia. I said, "I want to live with you." She said, "But I got to work every day." At the time she had Lionel alone, one son. She said, "I got to work every day." I said, "Well, I would stay with you and keep Lionel when you go to work because I don't have nobody here. And it's all right. Move with me."
And so that's when you went to
Moved me
live
to
with her.
Caledonia. And she got to work every day and I took care of Lionel.
And you were going to school.
Yes.
So this is the thing is that you're sharing here that you had one sister. So both of y'all were separated when your mother passed.
Mm-hmm.
And so you would see your sister periodically. And that's how you knew who she was.
Yes.
And when she moved across the street, you were able to say,
It's
"Oh my
like-
God, I want to go live with you."
It's like God let me be on the balcony today and I see her moving. I said, "That's my sister." And I run down and saw her and I
Oh, that's so
moving.
sweet.
Like God had me to see
Yes.
when I on the balcony day when she was moving in.
Yes.
And I said, Ronald said, I said to her, "Oh, you're moving here." That time she used to live in Caledonia. I said, she said, "Yes, I'm moving here, but I'm not going to live here for long because the lady that keeping Lionel live in Caledonia, and I have to take him up at his rooms." So I said, "Well, when you're moving, I am want to move with you. I live in with these two ladies," and I took her and meet her. And there was a lady on the building there that used to says, "Ruby, when you go into school, pick up the garbage and take it down for me." And I said to her, "Miss John," I said, "Miss John, I don't have to empty your garbage. It's too fresh and I got me nothing." And she tell me off. I went and tell my father. My father came to her and said, "Listen,
Talk louder because I can't hear.
my child don't have to take your garbage down. She take it down one time. She have to take your garbage down. So just leave her alone." My father came and told her that. He said, "Leave her alone. She don't have to take your garbage down. She did it one time as a favor, and now you tell her to, and you're telling her she's not going to be anything good." And that woman disliked me after that.
She wanted you to just be fetch and carry for her, and your father said, "No, no, no, you can't be using my daughter like that."
She asked me, "Ruby, you're going to school, take this garbage down for me."
Yeah, she just felt that she had somebody that she could just push around. But you were smart. You told your father, "Look, I'm
When
not gonna do this."
I tell her another day, she said, "You leaving the garbage?" I said, "No, I'm not taking your garbage down. You're too fresh. You're not going to be nothing good."
Yeah, but you know.
So I went and I told my father. My father came and told her, "She don't have to take your garbage down." She took it down. You tell her thank you, and you don't ask her to take it down no more. So you just stop it.
Yes.
Boy.
So you had your father in your defense, even though he didn't live with you. You were able to go and talk to him, and he
Yes.
come to your defense. God has always had someone to send you in to help you out in that moment. You know, always, 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 always. You know.
Your father worked on a ship.
And so, where was your father working that you didn't get to see him every day?
I don't remember.
You
But
say you worked on a ship,
yes.
and how? Yeah, that worked on a ship. So, did he ever share with you why he left Jamaica?
No, he says that they used to boil, um, they had a lot of cane and they used to make cane sugar. One day they had the sugar set to sell and he didn't know. So he went in and dip out some, was to make some lemonade. And when they said, why you interfere with that sugar was supposed to go? He said, well, I didn't know. And they give him a good beating
Hmm.
and put him on some corn to kneel down.
For punishment.
Yes.
Wow, that was so wicked.
He said he picked up himself and he left them.
And he left, and where did he go?
He went to Port Antonio or something. Anyway, a boat was coming to Panama and he get on it and came
Okay,
out.
so you come from that's the thing there, the same determination that you have is what your father instilled in you. Is that he didn't know that he was not supposed to take this. He took some to make some lemonade, and those wicked people told him, kneel down on corn as a punishment.
Yeah.
I mean, the kind of punishment that's the stuff that they learned from the enslavement period. And because of that, he said, you know what? I'm out of here. Just like you said, I'm taking all three of my children and I'm out of here. And he got on a ship and went straight to Panama. That's the kind of strength that I come from. That no matter what is the situation, I'm always pushing through. And that's when I do that. I'm doing it with you, for you, and through you. Because without that example that you've given to us, I'm always pushing through. We never were just average. We were always above everybody else, not knowing that you were struggling like you were struggling. You always made it possible for us to do better than most of the people on our level. So for that, I just thank you eternally, Ma. I think one of the things that I want you to talk, because some of these people have seen you on my platform when you were when we had the almost 100 birthday,
Mhm.
and you were dancing your salsa music. One of my friends, when I said that we were having this discussion, they wanted to know, when you were young, did you like to dance? Because they said that the way that they saw you move your shoulders and that.
Yes.
So what happened in Panama that
I
encouraged
wasn't allowed to
dancing?
dance because my mother, that raised me, she was a Christian
Okay.
and she wasn't allowed to know dance. But I danced when she could see me. I had my
She said
Spanish.
she does when you can see.
I had my Spanish friend, and when that music playing, and I go there visit, she didn't let me visit people. When I coming from school, I stop in there and we dance. You know.
And you were always a very good dancer. You told me that once you won a dance competition when you were 21.
Yes.
Yeah,
And a
share that with
prize.
me. Share that with me. You got a prize for dancing.
Yes.
My
No.
mother can dance. My sister, well, she doesn't dance anymore, but when she was like 16, I like to dance, but I don't dance as good as my mother and my sister used to dance. I'm third level.
When I was 16, I must say, your godfather and I won a prize dancing.
Wow. What kind of dance were you doing?
They started first different one. It's a foxtrot, salsa, Spanish, cumbia, everything. And every time music start, he and I dance, we dance, and we won the prize.
Wow.
He and I won the prize.
Yeah, because you love music. That's what we grew up in a house.
He and
with
I won
music.
the prize dancing. After the work, I used to buy my things and look very nice and go to different fairs on the pleasant Sunday afternoon. I went to a pleasant Sunday afternoon and Elena mother was there playing a violin I think it was.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Pleasant Sunday afternoon.
Oh.
She was playing her violin.
Her husband was a
And
musician.
what was the what is it called? Sunday afternoon? What you call it?
Pleasant Sunday afternoon.
What's that? Pleasant Sunday afternoon.
People from different churches come and play a piece on the piano, the violin, or
Oh, okay.
you know, and you go and sit down, and they pick up a little collection. And Elena mother was there. She played
Yeah. The
piano
guitar or
or the
something?
guitar, violin. I think it was.
Yeah, and that's the thing that, as we said earlier, is that community is the thing that kept us together. When we left the different places in the Caribbean to come and help and work as laborers to help build the Panama Canal, we still had that unity. Pleasant Sundays was a way of the community coming back together, of working together. You work all week, and then at the end you keep up with your friend, your sister-in-law, your godparents, your godmother's children, that kind of thing. Panama being hot, it's always an opportunity for you to party or to dance or to feel alive.
Pleasant Sunday afternoon.
And so
Elena mother was there playing a violin.
And so I know you like music and you married a musician. We're not even going to touch that, but the music that my father played was that salsa band, right? Or big band.
Trombone, yes.
Trombone, yeah.
Because played different band. He played Spanish salsa. He played foxtrot with the English. He always
give me a question.
He always had
some instrument that's playing. Yeah.
He played in the Republican band for the government.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah. So that's
Banda República.
And that's one of and when I made my CD,
I was teaching trombone.
Yes, was teaching trombone lessons at home. Yeah, so that's one of the things that I like about Yuma, is that you always encourage us to have music, to dance, to have that liveliness. As children, you used to take us to the children Toldo. Yeah. Toldo is doing the carnivals. They had Toldo for the adults, and then they had Toldo for children, which a Toldo is like a dance venue for the children to dance. So like you're 11, 12, 9, you could just dance and just have a good time with live music. That's Panama. And then the adults, they would go out at night after we had our
evening
in the afternoon.
Yes,
then the
no
evening.
Children during the night.
Yes. So thank you, Ma, for all of the explanations that you're giving.
And just all up in the first. I got a pollera. Which one of you had a pollera?
I don't remember. But the pollera is a national dance in Panama. So the costumes and that, whenever it was time for the holidays, I would say what we wanted to wear, and my mother would get the fabric, sew it up for us, and make it for us. And we would just be the best group.
Take a part
of
it.
Yes. Just awesome. So thank you, Ma. If there's anything that you would like to close out saying, what is it that makes you who you are? What is your favorite food? What gives your core value? What is your core value in life?
Well, I came up going to the Wesleyan Church. Miss Burke was a member of the Wesleyan Church, and I had to go. So I went to church every Sunday, took part in everything. That's how I started out, because she believed in the church. And the minister used to come, which was a white minister, used to come and serve him tea.
Any question?
Used to come. The minister used to come and visit the white man, and neighbors used to look and say, "Oh, this minister coming." He used to come and sit down. My mother served him tea, and he sit down and talk with us and preach with us. It's a white man from England. That was the ministers at the church.
And that gave you your core value, that you know that God was always in the center of things. Wow. No. Thank you. Thank you, Ma. Last question. Mhm.
Um, how did you come to accept Christ?
I came to
So we're
accept.
talking about the dancing and that. So one of the questions is, how did you come to accept Christ? That's the question that my sister
Well,
is asking.
when I was small, I had to go to Sunday school. Miss Burke was a member of the Methodist Church. So we went to Sunday school every Sunday. I took part, sight, everything. So when I came now and got married, I know my children had to go to church too. So I started them out going to church. And I was a member in Wesleyan Church, little girl, but we had to do recitation and had to take part in dressing up the church.
So the most
As
important
adults.
part of you, the most important part of your life has been that you have been grounded in faith.
Yes.
Yeah,
And I
because
was
that's the
coming
thing
up.
that, yeah, that there's knowing that there is God is one thing, but knowing how God works through you to overcome the challenges that you had, to overcome the things that you went through.
That's why when I was going through my affair, I always pray because I know God would help me. I had
Yes.
no mother, father, nobody that could really help me. And I used to pray every day. I want to get my children in America. I want to get my children. I pray and I lift up my eyes out to the hills from which cometh my help. And I do different prayers because I used to say it, and God, and I look around and say, God, oh God, help me.
Yes.
As an adult.
Yes.
As
Yes.
an adult.
You know? Oh God, help me. Because when I was to send for my children, I didn't want to send for one. I said I want to send for all three.
So you set that intention, you and God made a pact, and you passed through it.
And I asked the Lord, when they're coming, we're going to put them. I pray, Lord, let me find a place where I can put them. I don't want to visit some people that live in the project. And when I get on the elevator, they had root stool, dirty clothes, and all. I said, I don't want to bring my children in the place that. And I pray, I said, Lord, I walk in the street and I pray. I said, Lord, I send them for my children. Where am I going to put them? Make a place I could put them. And I went,
And you got it.
yes, Miss Mabane, Mabane.
Mhm.
Yeah. I walk in there and I see apartment for rent. I went and I asked her. I tell her I have 3 children. She said, I said, I have 3 children. She said, yes, I came in and I had to bring my children. She said, yes, I would glad to have them to come.
And that was where when you came from Panama,
Yes.
that's where you brought us. Oh, wow. And so one of the things that opened your eyes to the beauty of the world, I know, was traveling all over the world. You are a traveler. Share that just in closing. The things that God showed you in your travelings, or the things that you learned, the experiences that you had. Because I remember when you had I think it was your 80th birthday, we had a party, and that was one of the questions that was asked, how many countries you had been to. And so now y'all know, when y'all hear me say, where in the world is Yaya Vini? This is where I get it from. This lady right here, she's traveled more countries than me. She would work, and every 6 months, she and her friend, they would have some kind of place that they were going. Give us some of the places that you've been.
Well, we went to China, we went to Africa, we went to Japan, we went to Korea, I went to Jamaica, I went to Barbados.
France.
You went to France.
France, yes.
England.
Spain.
Spain.
Which is the one that you went to that you were on the camel? Was that Morocco? You went to Morocco?
Yes.
Yeah, you went to Morocco. This woman has traveled. So don't y'all ever say, where in the world is Yaya Fini? I'm just like my mother.
And I get on the camera, you know, sit down.
I know, because we have that picture of you on the camera. I said, look at this woman on the camera. Yes, my mother's been to more countries than me, so I have to catch up with her.
Saw the bullfight in Spain.
Yes, in Spain,
Yeah,
she
went
saw
to
the bullfight.
Went to Spain, it's the bullfight.
So she's an adventurer. So when you see her sitting here, and don't feel like, yo, this little old lady. No.
Went
This
to
lady has
Jamaica.
lived.
I went to Barbados.
Yes, and you went to St. Lucia. I think it was St. Lucia you went to? One of the lower Antilles. But anyway, all of the places that you've been. So, Ma, thank you so much. I would just like to ask you to close this out with a wonderful, powerful prayer, because you have given so many people inspiration. One of the things also that my mother used to do is she was a millinery. She studied millinery. She used to make hats.
Yes, I used to make
Fabulous hats. I mean, that's why I
hats.
love Gaelics. My mother would make hats and break it down on the side. People used to,
Went
to do the
military school.
millinery school. Look at that.
Yes.
Just coming here to the United States and doing all of this stuff.
She got her high school equivalency. High school
My sister's on the side. I don't know why she don't come on over here and talk. But anyway,
Yes, I went to
she got her GED when she came to America. So she moved from one thing, and everywhere that you worked, they always had you as the supervisor. Somehow you would start, they would see your determination, and you were always making.
Yeah,
you
always
got her
was a
GED,
supervisor.
went ahead, and then became a nurse's aide. Just always went from one thing to the next. This is a woman that if you, after this program is over, go back and listen to the things that my mom, Ruby, made say this.
And I sew.
And she sewed. She used to make all of our clothes. All of our clothes she used to make for us.
And make hats.
That's it. And so never stop, never give up. Never feel that, oh, I can't do this because I am stuck with these 3 children. And no. My mother's always just pushing forward, going forward, and encouraging us.
Sister Hattie with the homeless people.
Yes, helping with her ministry. So thank you, Ma, for this. Thank you so much. Is there anybody that's asking a question out there? Put it in the chat that wanted to know. My producer, put it in there if there's a question. We need Mother Ruby's prayers. Yes, I'm going to ask her because she's a powerful prayer. She's a praying woman, honey. She pray over you. It's like, woo. Yes, happy birthday. Everybody's saying happy birthday. So before she goes, let's sing happy birthday to her. 1, 2, 3. Everybody can sing, even though we don't hear you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Oh, she got to back up.
I thank you, each and every one of you that took the time to come over and lift me up in your lovely sayings and thoughts. May God bless us all and keep us safe in this time. We need to call on the Lord to keep us safe in our going out and in our coming in.
COVID time.
Mm-hmm.
COVID time, and praying that the Lord would send it away, that it never rises head again. We can be free again to love each other, hug each other, just free to walk. But God will keep in us. Just always have a word of thanks. We're going down to bed at night, and when you wake in the morning, thank Him that you're still in the land of the living. Thank Him for His breath, because He could have taken it away from you while you went and lie down last night, but He still allow you to have it this morning. So thank Him. Thank Him for the food you have on the table. When you think of people in different countries don't have a grain of rice or a piece of bread to eat, and when you can draw to the table and have all that you want to eat and more, always give thanks and always say a prayer for one that don't have it.
Ashe. Thank you for praying over us like that, Ma. Let me tell you some of the things people are saying. Thank you for sharing with us today. You can read it. You are making me reflect on my family's strength, beauty, and spirit and presence. Someone says, sounds like Congo Square. Congo Square is in New Orleans where the people would get together on Sundays.
Yes.
That there was the only spot that they could have their freedom. So that is that when you had the Sunday thing, it was the same thing like Congo Square. Somebody else has said, blessings, Queen Mother.
Yes.
Somebody is saying beautiful stories. Thank you so much for sharing.
A beautiful birthday.
Yes, you read it because you see me with my glasses. Go on.
Sound like Congo Square.
Over here. A true.
Beautiful stories. Thank you so much for sharing. Have a beautiful birthday.
Yes, a true Queen Mother.
Queen Mother. Blessed birthday, Queen Mother. Mama is so beautiful. Happy birthday, Queen. A cultured woman.
Oh wow.
Oh wow, what a present to be in your present. May this new solar rotation be glorious and full of adventure. So nice to meet you. Thank you all.
Thank you everybody.
From Naomi.
Yes, thank you everyone. Everyone, thank you so much for coming out here and listening to my mother and her beautiful story, and her prayer over us was just very empowering.
Happy birthday.
Yes, thank you, Mom. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time to do this, Let me realize how special you think of me.
Aww. Yes, you're my mama. You're the only one I have.
And thank God for my 3 children.
Yes.
Never had to rush to the hospital with them. Never had to rush to the
Well, you had to rush for me because sometimes I was falling out of stuff and getting cut up and all of that. So you had to always rush it somewhere with me.
Never had to rush a police station. And I thank God how He has kept them. They have no great disease that, and they went through school. And my eldest daughter, she did very well. Yaya did good. My son went in the Air Force and he came out, thank God. So I have so much to thank God for. Then I have grandchildren and great-grand. So I thank God. I didn't know I would even have children. And I have children, grandchildren, and
great-grandchildren. That's right. So thank you, Ma. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming. It was a wonderful, wonderful sharing that my mother did. And just knowing that y'all coming here means so much to me, because like I said, I want to give my mom her flowers while she's alive, and that y'all know, and you can be inspired with whatever you're going through, trust that God is going to be the force that you can pray and come through. So thank you again, Mom.
Thank God also that my 3 children came and I never have to go to the police station. My eldest daughter, she's married to a very nice husband. God provided her with a very nice Christian husband. And my son has gone into the Air Force. Thank God he came out healthy and strong. And then Yaya, my baby daughter, she is the star in the family. She do some of everything to get us together.
I've always been the comedian. So thank you, Mom.
Plant trees, do some of everything. And thank God for her that she did. And my son, he went in the Air Force, he came out good, thank God.
Thank you, Mom.
So I just thank God for my 3 children.
Thank you.
And I have a good son-in-law. God provide my daughter with a good husband.
And daughter-in-laws, because Kim. Okay, well, y'all have a beautiful, wonderful day. Thank you so much for joining me on the Ask Yaya Feeney show, celebrating my mother 102nd birthday. Some of you have been with when she was 100, some was 101, now 102. So hopefully next year, we're going to do it in person. And we're gonna have all of the good stuff in person when she's 103. Because she ain't going nowhere till at least 105. So y'all have a blessed day. Thank you, Odabo. Have a beautiful, beautiful
Thank
Saturday.
you. God
Bye.
bless.